Good day. This is the 7th episode of the weekly Frankly Speaking podcast. So stay with us and we'll give you a tight, fast-paced package of information, field and driven analysis and commentary on things Jamaican. We start with the newspapers and then take you to something that has made Jamaica special. Then my commentary, frankly speaking, about the cost of living. In the crosshairs of crosstalk today, it's guns and money. So let's jump right into it. Now, in the newspapers this week, Jamaica's two Sunday newspapers lead with interesting stories. The Gleaner goes with a weekend story regarding the arrest of a policewoman, alleged to be the mastermind in a lottery scam, and that's cop held in scam, stretching between Jamaica and the US. It involves some US $1.7 million. That's about 260 million Jamaican dollars. The story gives juicy and painful details of some of what's alleged have been involved with the policewoman who has been in the force for 18 years, Shelly-Ann Sharon Allen. She traveled regularly to the United States and was held on Friday. She has been suspended from duties here with immediate effect. Of course, the Gleaner gives a small picture of her on duty at a different time. The Observer goes to a story people are waiting to hear more about, the very unfortunate death of that 18-month-old baby in her policeman's father's car in St. Elizabeth last month. The Observer reporting says the cop had left the child by accident in his car and had gone in a police vehicle to Warminster. Now, that's the front page lead. The whole page is taken up on it. Haitian probe linked to child's death. And there's a very small picture of the child. Warminster, where the policeman had gone, is nearly an hour away from Black River Police Station, where he had left his own car to carry out further investigations into what is an international incident, the arrest of a former Haitian senator in that parish, hence senator in that headline. John Joel Joseph and his family members were arrested days earlier. He's said to be wanted in Haiti in the murder of President Jovenel Moise. The story, though, is all based on unidentified sources. That's perhaps understandable, given the painful nature of it all. The bottom line is that the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, is to determine whether charges are to be brought against the cop. The Observer also goes after a story relating to the break-in or attempted break-in at the private residence of the Governor General, Sir Patrick Allen, at Gibraltar Heights near Oracabessa, St. Mary. Now, though trying hard, and that's the story taken up, well, more than a page, still no arrest in break-in at Gigi's house, and it takes up more than a page with some pictures and so on. And although with a great attempt, the reporter Romardo Lyons comes up with nothing much really. Police often prefer you to speculate than to give any information on some of these incidents, note some. A little bit of space is given in the papers to this being Reggae Month and Sunday being the 77th anniversary of Bob Marley's birth. Now, to Jamaican perspectives. Many people don't remember that a lot of Jamaicans still use charcoal or wood to cook. Yep, we know already most of the population has long gone on from wood and coal to cooking gas or to electric burners. Some not even bothering to stop at the kerosene stove. Remember those? And their serve well mark? Remember those. Now, do you remember this? The coal stove. And it's still in a few households. Now, I have been poking around trying to get stats, but nobody knows how widespread is the use of firewood for coal. Restaurants use a lot of charcoal or coal from wood, and there's a little industry with that. Woodcutters, coal burners, wholesalers and retailers. Most markets still have a coal section or some stalls for coal. People who know these things tell me that when LPG or cooking gas prices and kerosene prices go up, more people turn to firewood or charcoal. And those coal prices are going up too, as are other prices. Firewood coal has gone from $1,000 a bag to $1,250 a bag wholesale. That's 25% since Christmas. And the retail price has gone from $1,500 a bag to nearly $2,000 a bag. You can still buy a pan of coal, just for your home use, for between $200 and $300 a pan. Now, talking about the price of coal moves us nicely into Frankly Speaking, my commentary. The last week was not a good one for the average Jamaican household. Frankly speaking, and that's not only for the very poor. Fuel prices are at their highest ever. Well, that was true last week and the week before and so on. Depending on where you buy gas, 87 octane, the lowest quality comes in around 185 to 225 Jamaican dollars a litre. Work with 1 US gallon being equal to 3.78 litres, or call it 4 litres to a US gallon. Now for 4 litres in Florida in the US, and my friend checked quite a few prices, it's $3 to $4 US a gallon. Or for 4 litres, the cost would be between 450 Jamaican and 600 Jamaican dollars in Florida. All right, now, here in Jamaica, at the pumps, 4 litres or a gallon will cost between $750 and $800. That's for a US gallon. Now, many Jamaican motorists don't realize how much gas has moved on them, the price of gas. You see, frankly speaking, if you don't buy by the measurement, you won't know. And in Jamaica, we don't. We buy $2,000 gas, $6,000 gas, only that if we checked, we'd notice we're getting less and less for more and more. Gas, as we know, our energy has an effect in Jamaica on everything. But Jamaicans have been feeling it really hard on some food prices. Frankly speaking, chicken has been in the news, now selling at between $2.70 and $3.20 a pound after the latest increase. Chicken back is over $200 a pound. But everything is moving. Bread at my bakery has gone up 3 times in the last year. So has fresh milk from the outlet. Sugar, rice, flour, chicken feed, fertilizers, all of these have moved up in the last month. A price list on a piece of cardboard in a supermarket I frequent in St. Ann has run out of space for changes to the price of turkey neck, beef, and mutton. Mutton is selling for $1,000 in the market, up from $750 2 months ago. Frankly speaking, nobody even bothers to talk about the dollar anymore. It has reached the official rate of 157 plus to 1 US. Frankly speaking, the banks still offer you less than 150 and the guys on the street sell for 160. Ask your friend in Barbados the rate of exchange. Since when again? Now, in the first of these podcasts, my frankly speaking commentary was dedicated to the minimum wage. It has been at the same level of 7,000 Jamaican dollars a week for the last 3 years plus. That's for household help and shop help. It's a little more for security guards. Frankly speaking, while we have the minimum wage at all, it is an injustice really that the commission that decides on the minimum wage is still chatting when the merchants put up their food prices to the minimum wage earner and to everybody without any dialogue. Frankly speaking, at $7,000, that's 47 US dollars a week at the exchange rate of 150 to 1 US. Yes, per week, and a little over 55 US dollars a week for the security guards at minimum. Come on. They are Jamaicans and they need to live too. They need to live too. Going back to gas, the minimum wage for a week can't fill most tanks with unleaded 87 or regular diesel. Crosstalk. This week, Crosstalk is dealing with guns and money. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has announced a scheme to get more illegal guns off the roads. Operation Get Every Legal Gun has been launched with between $250,000 and $500,000 being on offer for information leading to a gun being turned in. Now, here's my take. The success of the police at the start of the year has been admirable. The performance has been better than ever before for 1 month, we are told. Never mind that nearly 140 people were murdered in Jamaica in January, mainly with the use of the gun. Lord knows we need every assistance we can get with driving murders down. and the gun is the weapon of choice for murders in Jamaica. So the Prime Minister has announced Operation Get Every Illegal Gun. Already Jamaicans have focused only on the buyback or money side of the program. There are also what the Prime Minister calls the legislative side, with the Parliament working to increase the sentences for convicted gun offenders. And the second leg being sharpening the tactical or strategic operation of the security forces to find guns. The third leg of the stool is paying you, giving people an incentive to provide information and bring in the illegal guns. Now, this is not new in Jamaica or for that matter anywhere else. People know where their boyfriends or their criminal neighbors hide guns. If we can use the bait of some reward money to get a few more of those guns, then why not? How much does a life saved by a turned-in gun cost? How much? My big issue about the guns program, though, is that we have to cut off the supply of guns from overseas. Cut it off. If taking them off the street here is to mean anything right now, we have no clue about how many illegal guns are out there, except people say, it's a whole heap. It's easier to get an illegal gun than to get internet connection, a friend of mine says. Now here's Desmond Richards, journalist and businessman, for his take on the guns.
You know, stacks of automatic weapons spread across tables always look impressive when they are displayed at news conferences celebrating the end of gun buyback programs. Of course, these weapons reinforce the notion that buying back guns from criminals save lives. But our experience, the Jamaican experience, shows that this strategy failed in the past and will fail again. In 2017, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced a 100 million cash for guns reward program. The announcement was made in Mount Salem, St. James, where the first Zozo was declared. Ironically, today St. James has the leading gun-related homicide rate in Jamaica since the start of the year. Does this mean anything? Back in 2015, as a matter of fact, on September 17, 2015, then Commissioner Dr. Carl Williams, along with high-ranking members of his staff and private sector bigwigs, rolled out another grand buyback gun program. Dr. Williams told us that incentives would also be given to policemen and women and divisions which seize the highest number of firearms. We don't know how many guns were found, neither do we know how much was paid out under this failed initiative. Based on data, the police have been successful removing illegal guns off our streets, preventing the massive growth in the importation of illegal firearms and firearm-related homicides are our problem. The police have been seizing an average of 600 illegal guns from our bloody streets for the past 5 years. In 2020, at the start of the dreaded COVID-19 pandemic, cops seized 43 rifles, 10 submachine guns, 20 shotguns, 378 automatic pistols, 70 revolvers, and 39 homemade guns, a total of 560. Yet they could not prevent 1,313 gun-related murders during lockdowns, curfews, Zozo, buyback, and other incentive programs. Here are some more data. Between 2005 and 2015, gunmen murdered 10,300 Jamaicans, an average of 1,030 persons killed annually by illegal firearms. This is approximately 75% of the 13,780 murders recorded over the 10-year period. The shedding of innocent blood continued, with over 9,000 Jamaicans shot and wounded. 1,200 women and girls were also raped at gunpoint. What more do we need to be convinced that using tax dollars to bribe gunmen don't work? Sourcing guns in the criminal world is easy and free. Paying to recover them as a strategy is providing too much carrots. Come on, Prime Minister, you're under pressure. Dry up your tears. Be courageous. Time for more stick and less carrots.
That's Desmond Richards completing our crosstalk this week. Looking ahead, expect the Money and Gun program to be an issue this week as the Get Every Legal Gun campaign is fleshed out and analysed. Keep your ears open too for information about that little boy whose throat was cut in the back of his mother's car in St. James, and also about the little girl who died in the back of her father's car in St. Elizabeth, where she had been left accidentally. Keep an eye too on the dollar. Until then, please share this podcast, subscribe, and comment. This is Franklin speaking with Franklin McNett.